This is Brent of the Brookbush Institute, and in this video we're going over more advanced self-administered release techniques. In this particular video we're going to go over Vastus Lateralis pin and stretch, or Vastus Lateralis active release. I'm going to have my friend Melissa come out. She's going to help me demonstrate. Now what Melissa's going to do is she's going to take one of these trigger point rollers here, and she's going to roll up and down her Vastus Lateralis, which is the area on the side of her thigh from her greater trochanter, that big bump just lateral to your hip, all the way down to your knee. Can you find the most tender point?
Got it.
All right, go ahead and get down on your elbow. Make sure that you're kind of straightened out here. Right? People have a tendency to turn into little cashews on this technique. Make sure that their form is still pretty good. Now, if this was a static release technique, she'd be done. She would have found the tender spot. She's in good form, and we would just wait for that release technique to diminish in tenderness. And I'm going to assume that if you're watching this video, you've already done that static technique. But now we're going to move on. We're going to progress. So I'm going to have her roll up just a little bit this way. This is going to move that foam roll from on the trigger point, which we're also going to assume is the adhesive point, to just distal that adhesive point. And now the fun part. I'm going to have Melissa flex her knee. And what that literally is doing is it's taking her muscle fibers and shearing them past the tissue that's being blocked by the foam roll. So we're actually getting some fascial shear here, which we're hoping is breaking up some of this adhesive tissue and improving extensibility. Now the protocol for this is very similar to active stretching. She can do 2 to 5 second holds at the top here. And we're going to do 10 to 15 repetitions. Once she's done 10 to 15 repetitions, she can go ahead and move on to the other side, or potentially move on to another adhesive point within the same muscle. Now, if I wanted to progress this even further, I can't just go to a smaller object. You guys have seen other videos where I've done static release techniques with a medicine ball or a softball. We do want to decrease surface area, but we can't decrease surface area in width. If we decrease this way, there's a chance that that adhesive tissue that we were trying to block with the trigger point roll here would then become, well, not a block. The adhesive tissue would just kind of go around, something like a softball. So we need something that's smaller in diameter this way, but not this way. And that's where this guy comes in. This is a quad baller from trigger point, and as you guys can see, it's a dowel wrapped with some padding. It's a pretty tough, pretty small surface area, but it still has that width we need to make sure we block that adhesive tissue. Melissa's going to demonstrate and wince as she does this. Make sure you guys aren't throwing this at clients, first-time clients, people who've never foam rolled before. These are advanced techniques. They do tend to be quite a bit more tender than the static release techniques with like a soft foam roll.
Found it.
You found it? Good. Once she's found that spot, once again, we're going to go just distal to that spot. So she's got to roll up just a little bit, make sure she's just off the point. Right, she's right here, so she's braced up against that adhesive tissue, and then she can go ahead and flex her knee 10 to 15 times, 2 to 5 second holds, nice slow tempo. A good point to make here, guys, is with all foam roll and self-administered release techniques, the roll or object doesn't move. You might for these active release techniques. In static release techniques, nothing moves. But it's not the foam roll that rolls up and down, or the quad baller that rolls up and down, or the trigger point roller that rolls up and down. That's probably not going to do much to increase our extensibility. There's really no good model to show that that would affect tissues in a way that would be beneficial. This, on the other hand, shearing fascial tissue, that has the potential to increase extensibility, increase performance by reducing restrictions, things that could be leaking some of the potential performance we already have. I hope you guys enjoy this technique as much as you can. It is fairly aggressive. You need to be careful who you give this to, but for an advanced athlete like Melissa here, where we're trying to get every ounce out of her performance, definitely worth a shot. I look forward to hearing from you guys on the outcomes you got from this technique. Thank you.